Hey guys, I'm Dr. Bibliophile and I'm here today with my top 5 all-time favorite books. Now, the first 3 books are not in any particular order, so let me go ahead and get those out of the way, alright? First one I have is right here, Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. I just recently read this book, maybe within the past 3 months, because although the movie came out Christmas last year, as in 2012, I only saw it maybe a couple months ago. But anyways, I always like to read the book before it comes out, and with this one I'm especially glad I did because I never would have understood the movie without it. Not the best job there. But anyways, the book is incredible. It is about Jean Valjean, an ex-convict, and his story of redemption through his saving a little girl named Cosette. The struggles that they go with, it centers around one of the French revolutions, and so it has a great standing story right there. But it's so worth the read, and that's why it's on my top 5. Okay, next. This next one is Beowulf. This has been one of my all-time favorite books since I was probably 8, I'd say, 8 or 9. And I'm 18 now, or going to be 18 in April, so it's lasted for a while. But I mean, it has everything that a good book should have. It has huge action scenes, it has morals, it's epic. I mean, literally, it's the first epic poem. I'm not just throwing that word around. It's that great. It has monsters. I mean, Grendel's mother, and the dragon are some of the most timeless characters in all of literature. And Beowulf himself is what every boy that reads this book, or girl I guess maybe, but not really, but every boy that reads this book, what they want to kind of be like, what they want to emulate. I mean, just the awesome power of Beowulf, and yet the moral upbringing and chivalry that he still holds. And it obviously I like this book quite a bit. It's an exceptional book that anybody should read, but especially if you're into British literature, it should be required reading. In fact, I actually think for a lot of the schools, Beowulf is required reading. It shows you how good of a book it is. So, before I get too worked up, let's go to the next one. This next book, I would love to show you a physical copy. However, I made the crucial mistake of lending it out to somebody and not remembering who that was. And worse, I don't have my name in the book. Ugh. This makes me exceptionally ticked off because, I mean, it is one of my all-time favorite books. It's on my top 5, and I don't have my copy to show you. But The Road is a dystopian book written by Cormac McCarthy, and it's about a father and son in post-apocalyptic America and their struggles to survive daily life, having to deal with marauders, starvation, and just the difficulty in travel. Their whole point of the book is getting to the coast, for they feel that that's where survival is. I can't give too much away in this brief amount of time especially, but it's so worth it. That's why it's the most recent and only dystopic non-classic book on my list. It is that well written. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, now this book is number 2, and it deserves its spot. In fact, it switches on and off with book 1 as my all-time favorite book. It's The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Now, like I said, this and the number 1 book usually switch places as favorite book. It all depends on who I talk to. For example, if I speak to somebody like my grandfather, who is a very educated, very, what would you say? Well, he was vice chancellor of UNC, to give you an idea, so he's that kind of person. So I usually tell them this is my favorite book simply because it looks better, I think, to a more educated person. But it is it's the best revenge story I have ever read. I mean, the whole story is about Edmond Dantes and his false accusation, imprisonment, escapement, and then final revenge for everything that was ever done wrong to him in his entire life. It's such an incredible book and so good that I will be doing a companion review for it, just because I can't say enough in this brief amount of time. So, without any further ado, let's get on to number 1. Okay, my number 1 all-time favorite book. If anybody that watches this knows me, it doesn't come as any surprise, but it's The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Oh my goodness, I could go on and on about this book and why it's so fantastic, but really the reason it holds so special a place to me is because it was one of the earliest books I read. I read it probably 5, 6, 7, one of those ages, I can't remember. And I just fell in love with it. I mean, the story is so captivating. It's an easy read, but my goodness, is it captivating. The character is so well written, it just draws you in. You end up falling in love for every single character, which makes these latest adaptations so much that more painful. Yet awesome, but still painful. But J.R.R. Tolkien truly is a master. He deserves every accolade that's ever been given to him. But this book, like I said, I read it as a child and enjoyed it, loved it. But the problem was I fell away from the series for quite a while. I just lost all interest. And so later on, probably, I'd say 13, 14, 15. I'm not very good with dates, obviously. Anyways, I went to my local library and checked it out again. And I was really... Oops. Sorry. And I was really, really scared that I wouldn't like it anymore because I had such a love for it as a kid that I thought as I was older it wouldn't transition as well. I was so wrong, thank goodness. I read it again, it still held everything that I loved the first time, but so much more because I could understand it deeper. But it is great. I will be doing a much more in-depth companion review for this one just because it is my favorite book and I can't say enough about it. But if you haven't read it, you are really missing out. So please, please go get a copy. Just not one of my 7 copies. I like it that much. I collect all the copies I can find for all the cover art. Alright guys, that is my top 5 all-time favorite books. I really hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. I'm a brand new booktuber, so I hope to be doing these things pretty often. So if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe in that order. And always remember, reading is a special key to take you where you want to be. Thank you, and God bless.